Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have something else that is very interesting, at least to me, and there is two products today that I want to share and touch on. So it's going to be a long video. I'm going to give you a heads up. It's going to be a long one. There's a lot I want to talk about, and let's try to keep it as short as possible. So I don't know how many of you are aware, but this is a brand new product. It's being produced by Yikong Toys, and you might know Yikong Toys. They used to produce cheap and cheerful heavy equipment. Most of them are in a 20th scale, 24 scale, and so on. Very plasticky, very cheap, very weak. Usually non-proportional, and they look nice, but they has never interested me, right, until now. So there's two new products from Yikong, and you can see this is the excavator series, and I also have the crawler loader. Okay, so these two they are very similar. There are some differences that I will talk about, but let's look at one at a time, right? So if I start with the excavator, just look at the box. It mentions that it's 1/50th scale. You can tell how big the box is because it's almost filling up my entire table. I usually only use the portion of my mouse pad. Now I have to push my keyboard away, and still it's filling up almost the entire, view angle of the table. So there are some functionalities here, and I want to quickly showcase it. You can see for the excavator, it has unlimited spins. This is I think probably the first for Yikong. Usually it goes to 180 to 260 degrees, and then you need to turn back, but this is one of the models that has a 360 turn, and this is usually reserved for like higher end models, hobby grade models. Even the Huina models, the 1/14 scale ones, probably don't do unlimited 360 out of the box. You have to buy some additional parts to make that happen. Digging function, uninstall function, I do not know what that is. Full function, proportional, full directional direction, I think that's what they're trying to say. RC throttle control means it's proportional. Sound function and lights function. Very interesting box. This is really very interesting, and I think it's the first time Yikong is doing this, and if Yikong is going this direction, I'm very happy about this. I've never owned a Yikong model prior to this because none of them interest me. They are too toy grade, they are too cheap quality, they don't function the way I feel a hobby grade should be. This is probably the first, and the best part about it is it's small, right? It's desktop size, so you can play on a desk and indoors, and this is perfect for that. If I quickly jump to the crawler loader, and I'm going to speak a little faster because of time. If you look at the functions here, you can see dozing and unloading, rise and fall, full function, RC throttle ratio, sound and lights, same thing. Again, if you look on the side, it says 1/50th scale. I'll talk about that later. And let's go into the box. Made in China, definitely, right? So it comes with this beautiful wooden design outer cardboard box. Very nice touch. First time I'm seeing a toy grade manufacturer do this, and again, this is very unusual for Yikong. Yikong never does this. They sell very cheap stuff, and for them to really jump to this level of quality, I think it's great. And look, there's a soft pouch inside. So it's so rare that, you know, a toy grade company suddenly jump and produce such high quality stuff. So it comes in a soft pouch, full zipper and handle, nice quality handle, you know, two-way zipper. Okay, and if you open it up, you can see here is the loader. It comes in the box like this. You have the instruction manual, and this is the same for the excavator as well, so I won't do an unboxing for the excavator because it's the same. Very basic instructions, pretty much. A lot of things you might already figure out on your own. And one thing to note is these two models come in two specs. There's a standard variant and then there's a high-end variant. The difference between the two specs is the tracks, right? So if you buy the standard variant, it comes with the plastic tracks, as you can see here. And if you buy the high-end version, it comes with the alloy tracks, okay? And for your info, I've got the high-end version, both the crawler loader and the excavator. And as you can see here, these are alloy tracks. It comes in the alloy tracks. So I've seen some people have this and it doesn't come pre-installed, the alloy tracks. If you buy the premium version, they just throw the alloy tracks in here. But mine comes pre-installed, so you can see when you buy the premium version, you get the plastic tracks and also the alloy tracks as well, as you can see here. Very, very nice. So I would definitely recommend you get the high-end version, the alloy version, because you get additional tracks to play with. And the alloy version functions really, really well, and I'll talk about that in a bit. So the spare tracks come in a box. It's shoved in here. It comes with an additional screwdriver. It comes with an additional bucket. Now this was the original bucket that was attached here, and you can swap it out. You can see how to do that in a manual. I've already swapped mine out because this bucket has an additional function which I will show you. And again, really awesome that Yikong is already thinking ahead. Comes with this extra bucket. It comes with a bag of batteries, chargers. So 2 batteries and 2 chargers. So 2 LiPo batteries, one for the remote and one for the RC model. And there are some additional accessories here, additional bolts and nuts for you to swap out the bucket, and you will need it. It comes with, this is a RTR set. It comes ready with a remote, and it comes with this cute chibi version of remote, which has full proportional controls. And you can see here at the top, you can see 2 screws here. This is my modification, right? So it comes without the screws. And what I did was actually drill 2 holes into the knobs and then put 2 screws into it. Why do I do that? Is because when I control this, these 2 screws actually gives me more tactile feel. It helps me to kind of know where the positions are rather than just the knob, and the knob is very hard to have micro changes and micro controls. So small changes, incremental changes is very hard to do with just the knob. But with the screws, it now acts like a stick where you can actually feel where the positions are. Very, very, very nice touch. I think I would recommend you do this as well. These are 2 M2 size screws, M2 screws. So you just drill it and put 2 screws on it. It's a very cheap, simple modification, but I did it right out the box, right, just to give it more tactile feel. It comes with a screen. I'll show you that as well. There are 2 buttons here and there are 2 buttons here. The joystick don't click in. it doesn't click in. It's just directional functions and on-off switch, and that's it. The back has nothing there. There's a screw here which you need to remove, and then you can open it up to put in the battery. Okay, for the main event, we'll just pull this out, and again, it's so nice that it gives you the pouch, right? So you can carry this outside and, you know, bring it along when you travel, and this is absolutely amazing. So this dozer, it's there's mix of die cast and plastic, so it's very hard to tell. The main die cast parts are the track is alloy, this metal piece at the back is alloy, this one is alloy metal piece, and I guess the rest of it is plastic, but it is very high density plastic. It's very hard, rigid plastic. I think it's like ABS, very high quality plastic. You can even see the driver inside. Look at that. If the camera is picking up, you can even see the driver inside, which is absolutely amazing. So many details, and I've been googling the models and everything. This is actually a Liebherr. I don't know whether I pronounce it properly. Liebherr brand dozer, Liebherr 363, and the excavator is also a Liebherr brand. So they do not have the license, so they cannot put the name on it. I plan to print out some stickers to just mask the Yikong and put the Liebherr name on it, and that would be absolutely awesome. The model, the details of the model are very good and very well done. All the paint jobs are nice. The only thing that really showcased or downgrades it is the name Yikong, right? So if you can produce a sticker, you just cover this, you know, it looks awesome. The other thing to note is I mentioned that I swap out these buckets because this has an additional function. There's an additional port here where you can stick in the connector, and this bucket actually opens up, right? So it actually splits open here, and I can show you that later. Very nice, very, very, very nice. Okay, so this is the crawler, and I'll put it here. And let me bring in the excavator. So again, out of the box, the excavator is similar as well, similar packaging and similar accessories. Again, my excavator comes pre-installed with the plastic tracks, and you have to install the metal tracks yourself, which is very easy to do. And one of the key signs that tells me Yikong is doing this correct is if I show you how these tracks are being installed, right? So what you need to do is you press it in, and you can see there's a spring here. So if you press it in, you can actually loosen the tracks, okay? And this is how like those bigger Hinglong tanks actually work. There is a tension here, so there is a spring here. If you pull out the wheels, you can actually see the spring, right? So there is a spring that has tension outwards, so that prevents the track from running loose and coming out, which is amazing. This is how a track vehicle should work and should be built. See, this is doing it right. Again, Yikong used to sell cheap models. This is high quality. Look at this track. It's high quality. It's all metal. Look at all the joints. It's all properly done, all properly pinned, there's no, they don't chip out on this, right? So this is like a proper chain. Feels like a watch, but it's so well built. It's crazy. So I'm just gonna put this back very quickly. So this model is also absolutely pretty. So this is the Liebert 970. If you want to Google it, you can Google it, but I've Googled, the model is identical. They don't have the license, the Liebert license to put on the model, but the design, the white cap, the orange, the 970 logo, and a stripe design, they are all identical to a Liebert model. So this is very, very nicely done. Okay, so both sides as well, you can see the engine compartment. It has the mesh and it's beautifully painted silver and black. There are small tempo prints here and there, and they don't have to do this, but they went all out. They went all out. The light signals here, it flashes, it blinks when it's running. I can show you both the excavator and the crawler. I've opened and modified this a little bit, and I can tell you that these hoses here are actual working wires, and yeah, these are high quality wires, and it carries power all the way through the arm, and it goes into the middle arm and the big arm and the small arm, and it has, you know, power functions to the hydraulics, to the cylinders and so on, right? It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. They didn't cheapen out on this. Yes, this is a more expensive model than their previous toy grade offerings, but this is well worth the money. This is well worth the money. I can tell you that it's probably one of the best excavators you can have right now, because you can play this on your desk, right? You just reach out to it, grab it, turn it on, play on your desk, and you're gonna have a very, very good time. I couldn't put this down for the past few days, and I've always wanted an excavator, but I always felt that they are too big. I've always wanted something small like this, and this is the first one that I've got. So this cover here is a metal piece, and it houses the battery inside, and it's being held on by magnets. So hinge on one side, magnet on the other side, so it doesn't fall down. This bucket here is metal as well. There is a small connector, the black connector port on the inside, and there's an exclamation mark on the side. This tells me that they are going to build additional accessories, maybe functional accessories like a claw, like a functional jackhammer, similar to this, right? So they have a port in the front. That means you can interchange the front bucket, then have additional functions, which is very clever of Yikong to do so, and they're thinking ahead, which is what I'm really excited. There isn't any additional accessories for the excavator out of the box, unlike the loader. But like the loader, it gives you for free. They didn't even charge you for this additional bucket. Amazing. This one, it doesn't come with additional accessories. I'm hoping that they would release it in the future and then, you know, sell it. I would get it and play with it as well. But let's fire this thing up, right? So let's start with the loader. I'll put the excavator on the side. So I'll just very quickly put in the batteries. I'll show you how, right? So the remote, there's this flat one. This is 3.7 volt, 400 milliamp, 1.48 watt hour battery. Very, very tiny, very, very slim. I don't know how long it lasts, but it's probably gonna outlast the playing time of the machine. The loader actually opens up on the back. The exhaust portion actually slides out, and then that gives the cavity for the battery to plug in. This is very tight and very compact. The battery compartment is just nice to fit in the battery, and sometimes you need to wiggle it around for the cable to move out of the way if you want it to look neat. Okay, there is an on-off button on the back side, both the excavator and the crawler. I like it that the on-off button is on the back, so if the model is down, you can still feel the button on the back side, so that is really nice. And if you turn it on, my camera is not picking it up. Okay, so my camera is not picking it up because it's too bright. There's actually a loader icon, right? So you can just barely see it. Yeah, so there's a loader icon that blinks. If you turn on the model, you can see that the icon is now static. Yeah, and you can see the battery indicator, the sound lights, and so on. And you can already hear the sound, right? So there is a sound button. So if you press the sound button, this screen lights up. As you can tell, it lights up in the dark, which is amazing. You don't need the screen. Actually, you don't view the screen. You don't need the screen, but it gives you the information about the battery, the signal strength, which is amazing for this price. Absolutely amazing. And there is another button for the lights. Yeah, so you can see that there is the front headlights. It turns on and off, and you can see that the top signal lights, it flashes as well. It's so nice. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that. So again, I was telling you guys about the screws, right? So this actually drives the tractor forward or backward. Okay. Okay, so if you can feel the screws, it helps gives you the micro controls. So this control on the right actually raise and lower the back arm, as you can see, and it's proportional. Look at that. Okay, although very little, it's still proportional. This one controls the front arm, in and out, dump the bucket. Whoops. So my loader controls is a bit sticky, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can see. Yeah, it's struggling a bit. It's running on 3.7 volts, so there will be times you see the motor struggling, but that's probably my only complaint. But it is so well built. Everything is so well built. I'll probably need to grease it up a little bit, but this connection here is kind of struggling a little bit. I can tell that it's probably too tight. Yeah. Okay. So it has full function, full proportional control, as you would expect. Okay, I think the only downside for this loader is there is no limiter, so when it hits the end, it doesn't it hits the end and it doesn't tell when to stop. Okay, maybe just my copy this one that has some tightness issue. I'll need to check on that. I'll probably need to loosen up this screw a little bit, but it's this arm here is too tight, and I can hear the motor struggling. But most of all of these parts, the wheels, the individual controls, are all controlled by a N20 motor, which usually comes in high torque, very high torque, and low energy, high torque. So it is very well built. This is the loader. Let me show you the excavator. Excavator is a slightly better built, I think. I'm not sure whether the loader is acting this way because the battery is low. I probably need to charge it, but I've charged this just now, so I think this would function better. And again, 3.4 volts. It's gonna be weak, but if you have 7.4 volts 2S, I think it'll be stronger, but I do not know whether this will run on 2S. The remotes look identical, but when you turn it on, the logo will be different. This is now showing an excavator, as you can see, right? And similar to before, you can see the lights. Turn on the blinker, turn off the blinker. All right, you can see the blinker blinking away. Again, full function. Okay, so very nice, and again, driving is similar. The top knobs at the top. .360 turn. Right, so full function, as you can see. So I know it's hard to tell with a top-down camera. I will have different angles in a subsequent video, but again, this is just the initial unbox video. Yeah, I'm just turning off the sound, and I have modded this guy a little bit. So I've opened it up, I've changed to a different speaker. The original speaker comes, it comes with a very, one second. So this excavator is a bit interesting, and like all excavators, it comes with metal weights. So inside there are some metal weights so that it weighs down the back, because when you start digging you need to have some counterweights at the back. So it does come with the weights, but it also comes with this puny, very flat sounding speaker, very cheap speaker. I've opened it up and put in a slightly larger speaker, which is why I have to remove some of these weights, right? And I'm going to fill it in with different size weights, smaller ones inside, so that I can weigh it down as well. But I did open it up. Maybe in the next video I could open it up and show you what's the inside, but the construction of everything inside is very well done, very well made. The electronics might be cheap. It's a one circuit board that controls everything, receiver and the ESCs for all the N20 motors. The electronic is the only one, it's the only part that is cheap, I think. Everything else, molding quality, plastic quality, metal quality, everything else is done extremely well. You can tell that all the money went in there. The only downside is the electronic bits. And I'm thinking to whether if I want to mod this and throw this remote out, but that would be such a shame, because this is a RTR set, right? It fits in the box, in the pouch, and if I don't use this remote and I use another remote, it's going to, yeah, the remote's not going to fit in the pouch. So I'm still thinking, I'm very tempted to mod this thing and make it and have a better remote and better controls, maybe run 2S. But there's so much potential. What I'm trying to say is there's so much potential in these two little Yikong models, and again, I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best models they have made to date. Now I even went as far as to get a 150 die-cast truck and the low loader. Absolutely amazing. And this is 150 scale from Die-Cast Masters. If you collect models, you'll probably know it says Die-Cast Masters. I got it from China, so it doesn't come with a box, but it's still the original Die-Cast Masters model. And I'm going to mod this truck, which is going to be another video. I'm waiting for parts to come from Taobao. But if I put on the excavator, I'm not sure whether you can tell, but the width of the tracks is just wide enough to go beyond this carrier, right? So it actually sits there in place, but the tracks are not on the trailer, right? It's the inner part of the tracks that are sitting on the trailer. The tracks are actually outside the trailer. So that makes me think that this is not actually 150 scale, because if this was 150 scale, it's probably smaller slightly to sit on the trailer. There's still enough ground clearance to roll, but this is definitely a tad too big. And talking about scale, this is even more ridiculous, because this is even bigger than the excavator, right? If you look at the two, you can see the cap size, right? Look at this size. There is so much room inside, and look at the size of the excavator, and it's so small. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure like the real thing is not like this. You can see the guy inside. It has so much room on the inside, right? So the excavator is very small. The door size, yeah, this door size is massive. Look at the door size, and look at the door size for the excavator. Now this is not a small excavator, right? The 970 is not a small excavator, it's a big excavator. But even that, I feel like the scale is out. This is a tad bit too big to be a 1/50th scale. This is absolutely way overboard. This is probably a 1/43 scale, right? And I think this is close to a 1/30 scale or 1/32 scale. So again, it sits within the trailer, but it looks wrong, you know? What I'm trying to say is, it looks wrong. Somehow, it doesn't look correct. But, you know, it is what it is. Yikong is selling this as a 50th scale. Although it's big, I still like how it looks on a trailer. I think it will still work. And I'm planning to mod this truck and make it fully RC, right? I'm waiting for axle parts to come for the back to work on the drive shaft. This model actually comes with partial steering, as you can see. So I need to modify a little bit more to give it more angle and give more room to put in a servo. The front actually opens up to reveal, you know, some engine details, which I'll probably remove those and put in the servo there. I think it's just a perfect spot to put in a servo and then to drive the steering. Right now, it's super detailed. You can see on the inside, it has driver compartments. It even have a sleeper compartment, which I can open up. And look at the inner detail. These are all the padded details. It actually has like a functioning window on the top. You can actually look inside and it looks really like the actual Cascadia models. Again, if you guys are from the US, you will know what model this is. This is a Freightliner Cascadia. And yeah, you can see the sleeper inside. You can see all the top drawers and cabinets. Very, very nice details. You can see the tanks at the back, and I want to preserve as much of the details as possible. It has the it has the fifth wheel, and yeah, I'm going to make a video on this one. I'm going to convert this into a RC, and hopefully I can drive the excavator around. I have seen videos of these guys coming out on the internet, and majority of the videos, people are only interested in the excavator. I've not seen anyone done videos on a loader yet. I think this is fun as well. If you can get both of this, it will be very fun to take it out on the beach. It drives very slow, which is why it will be nice if I have a loader or transporter to transport it around, which I plan to do. And again, absolutely happy with all of this because you can do all of this on your tabletop, right? Set up a digging rig or area on your tabletop and you can start digging. The excavator functions really well. I'll do more videos, B-rolls on the side. But again, this video has probably gone long enough, and I'll probably end here. If you like this video, if you have any comments, if you have any questions you want to ask, please feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. I have to check this loader. I haven't played around with it a lot. I actually got this loader first. I think there are certain parts that are too tight, hence the motors are struggling on the inside. But other than that, I think the comments are the same with the excavator. Everything else is well built. The only downside of this is the circuit board or the circuitry on the inside, right? So if there's a way to upgrade it and change it to a better one, or maybe run it on 2S, it would definitely bring these models to life. Okay, but I will end here for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, like my videos, share it, and so on. Thank you so much. Bye bye.